This be the your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Break cut. 180. 54 Mike. You ain't doing nothing.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On second and 12, Goff. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
17 yards. That's good for Baltimore. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now Goff on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Throwing again on second and 10. Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels all the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Chicago. Devontae Freeman, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Joey Bosa getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Out of the gun. Goff. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bears 14. Ravens nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 2, Goff. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
What? 180!
We own it. We own it.
What's that?
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Another score from around the league. Meanwhile, up in Cleveland, the Raiders are out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again to the right side, incomplete to Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball is going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Now gone. It's Hill, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And able to work his way down to the 16. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. From the 16, gone. And that's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. Brings up 3rd down and 1. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Come on, QB, come on. Kill. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Super.
From the gun, here's Goff. Shedding through the defense, and he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Bandit. 25. Check it, Mike. Check 50. Kill. Also over here. Kill. Yeah, Liz. Hey, check 24. Check again.
From the 16, Rodgers going up top. They've got his man complete. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
On first, here's Washington. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Buying time to his left. Incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. Parker, the intended target. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Taron Johnson made the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Five. 55.
Here's Goff. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards, a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Mike 20, Mike 55.
On first down, gone. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. To try again after the sack, Goff. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now Goff. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Let's go.
Rodgers now to throw. Complete to Washington. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The throw over the middle taken in. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Escaping the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give them 32 on the play.
It's just me and you. It's just him 30. Under 10.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
Check back, check back.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to let it go, and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DeAndre Washington. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Michael Hunt, 180. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Don't be scared.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check 55 to Mike. Got one, I got one.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. From the 25 on second down, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Rodgers lets it go. He's got a man. Complete. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. J.J. Nelson, his third touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle, and it is 28-0. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
You can't block me.
Goff. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
17.
Throwing on third. Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Single the slot.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. On the right side, caught by Green. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Give me some. Give me 300. Yeah, 300.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
319.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
All day. 319.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On play action, Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Rodgers to throw once more. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Topper!
Now it's the backup Rudolph. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
From the 29, Goff, and incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, I'm coming.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come on, D.
Out of the gun, gone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
He's got it at the 15. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Come on, let's go.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for gone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Taking it about the 16. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers looking deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Mike 52. Mike 52. All day, punt.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Blue 58.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Rodgers throwing here. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
their own 29.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The Ravens on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This is fielded at the 7. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And they will throw it here with Rudolph. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw is Rodgers. Lets it go for Nelson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bears, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.